Okay, Zay. Um, for the chip shot today, I'm going to refer back to what Lance Taylor talked about, the Aaron Murray comments on Arch Manning, and everybody's wondering what is the ceiling for Arch Manning. And here's the thing about Arch. Um, the guy is on a mission. I had a chance to talk to his dad, Cooper, who said that, hey, I would take him to Peyton and Eli's games, once or twice a year when they were kids. And he said Arch would watch the game like he was studying when he was 8, 9, 10 years old. He wasn't running around on the concourse. He wasn't, he was studying the game. Like, football is really important to Arch. And it's not just that, he's 6'4" and he's in the bloodlines of Peyton and Eli Manning. It's that this guy wants to be great at football, but he's well-rounded. He's personable. He connects with his teammates. I think back to David Ash, who great arm at Texas, had, concussion issues. But when he was coming up and Major Applewhite was the offensive coordinator, I remember Major telling him, I know you are devout in your faith and you're in your room reading the Bible a lot, but Jesus was out amongst the sinners and you need to connect with your teammates, spend some time around your teammates. And Arch does that. In fact, they've asked him to take on more leadership and he's running the summer workouts, and he's the one getting, Jack Endries and Emmett Mosley, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, all connected into this offense. And there's a lot on his shoulders. There's no doubt, but he doesn't look at it that way. He's like this. He's like trying to get guys to run the plays exactly the way they're supposed to be run, so that when they get into the game, everybody knows exactly what to expect. So I get it. Everybody's wondering about Julian Sayin at Ohio State. And, Julian Sayin's numbers from his garbage time last year are not good at all. But he was he won the Elite 11, and he's got the arm, and he's got Jeremiah Smith, and he's got dudes around him, and that helps. He's got better dudes right now, more proven dudes at receiver at Ohio State with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith than Arch does. I mean, Ryan Wingo had a nice season. DeAndre Moore had a nice season. They didn't have Matt Golden seasons. And that's part of ascending. That's part of taking over when guys leave. And so, look, I'm as fascinated. I know Aaron Murray's a little bit doubtful. We don't know. Aaron Murray's like, we don't know. His sample size is too small. And I think it's going to be so much fun on August 30th to see really two of the most talked about young quarterbacks in the game. And let's see how they handle the atmosphere. Because I think Arch Manning, I'll be surprised. I'll put it this way. I'll be surprised. Now, the players got to make plays around him, but I'll be surprised if he's not comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's a big part of playing quarterback. You're going to be uncomfortable. You've got to love it. You're going to get pressure. You're going to get hit. You're going to get sacked. You might turn it over. And you got to come right back and lead your team. And I think Arch has that. So I'm very intrigued by all the conversation, and I get it. Texas is going to be a lot of people's favorite to, be the preseason number one. And there are a lot of hurdles along the way, but that's the way it goes. And it's probably would be better for Texas if they weren't number one, but the fact that they've gone to back-to-back college football playoff semifinals and continue to recruit the way that they have, people feel comfortable. They feel comfortable. They feel comfortable with Steve Sarkisian picking quarterbacks. They feel comfortable with the skill talent that Steve Sarkisian picks out to bring in, and the way that these guys are productive year in, year out, whether it's Xavier Worthy or A.D. Mitchell or Matt Golden, Isaiah Bond. He brings in dudes who make plays. So, until people see that string come to an end and go off the rails or hit a rut, they're going to keep picking Texas. And so I'm really super intrigued by this college football season. Can't talk enough about it because I do think it's wide open. I mean, Clemson, I like Clemson. I think they got a lot going for them. Ohio State, I don't know. They just lost a ton of dudes. Now they still have Caleb Downs and they still have Jeremiah Smith. So chances are Ohio State's recruited well enough. They're going to have dudes ready to rumble. But it's going to be so much fun this year, I think, because there's probably a team out there we're not talking enough about. Not quite sure who that would be at this point. Has Michigan added enough? I don't know. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah, very fun. I mean, Ohio State, I remember last year we were talking about, is Will Howard that guy?
Right.
We saw a lot of Will Howard in the Big 12 playing at Kansas State, and he didn't look like a national championship quarterback there. So Julian's saying, we're saying the same things about him. Can he do what Will Howard did? Now, Will Howard, we're assuming that the guys that he had around him this past year, especially on that other side with that defense, their defense isn't going to be that stingy. Plus, people forget their defensive coordinator is now hanging out with James Franklin at State College, old Jim Knowles. So that's a big change there. Jim Knowles, there's a reason why he's one of the highest paid defensive coordinators in all of college football. Give the man some damn respect. So, yeah, it's wide open. It's very fascinating. Texas' schedule is a lot tougher than people give him credit for. I know last year it seemed a little soft at times. This year, with the schedule being flipped, Gainesville, tough. Who knows how DJ Lagway is going to be? That's going to be tough. We don't know what John Mateer is going to be, but if he's going to live up to the height that we're hearing from everybody else around media, then that game, Red River, that's going to be a slobber knocker too. It's always tough going to Athens. Arkansas is going to give you a tough game just because that's what that rivalry holds. A&M's going to want their get back, and they could be that team, Chip, that we're not talking about as much. Like you said, you thinking about A&M maybe being one of those teams this year that could sneak up on you and be better than they were last year.
Right.
They applied to the NFL this past year. So
I think their offense is going to be better.
Too. Yeah. Like, who knows how that offense is going to look in year two for, Marcel Reed and Colin Klein. But I think Arch, he has that it factor. It's just when adversity hits, is he going to show up? And we'll see. We'll see. I like Arch. I think he has tremendous upside. I do worry about things getting a little overwhelming for him because I agreed with Lance. I've said that too. Like, nobody's had this type of hype since LeBron James. Like, you can't compare Tebow from it. Like, Tebow was still kind of, go look on the rankings for Tebow coming out in his year out of high school. Like, he wasn't the number one overall pick. He was still a 5-star, but he wasn't the number one player in the nation. So no one knew Tebow was going to be that in Gainesville. Arch Manning's dealing with a different type of pressure. Hopefully Steve Sarkisian and the rest of this coaching staff can handle it in the way where it's not as tense, because it is Texas. Sark says it all the time. We know what we signed up for. That pressure, you know what you signed up for. So there shouldn't be much, to work. Shouldn't be much of a surprise there. We just saw this freaking softball team have the highest views in national championship history because it's Texas. So and the brand, just the flash that comes with it. I think Arch has prepped himself for that as high as you can, but you just never know. You just never know. To be determined still. And I'm with you. I'm eager. I'm excited to see it. I'm going to be down there with you, SEC Media Days. I don't know, still figuring some things out, but I'm excited being ATL, SEC Media Days. That's going to be a fun time. Lance been there too many times, man. It's watered down for him. I ain't taking Lance's word for it. This is only, your second SEC Media Days, because you've been at Big 12 Media Days all these years. So, yeah, I get what Lance was saying. We know the four-letter network. They got all, first pull on everything, but it's still going to be a good experience. I'm very eager to see the coaches and which players they bring this upcoming season, talk to those guys, and 16 teams that feel like they got a shot in a wide open college football, wide open SEC. Yeah, can we already kick it off? I'm ready to go. I like the NBA finals and stuff, but I'm already in football mode, man, as days get closer and closer. So, yeah.
78 days.
That ain't much time.